I've noticed that my colleague from Texas has joined us. Sheila Jackson Lee, thank you so very much for joining us this evening. We've gone on here about the Affordable Health Care Act and how we ought to turn our attention to jobs for America. And I'm sure you have some thoughts on those subjects and others, and please join us.
I want to thank my good friend from California for really framing the discussion tonight around, I think, the only theme that gives us the kind of positive agenda that puts Americans back to work. We know as the economy collapsed, 12 million were out of work, but we also know, excuse me, that we have steadily made an increase. But it's not where any of us would like to be. And I couldn't help but, as I listened to the gentleman so eloquently and so effectively, ask the simple question as to why are we, again, putting on the floor of the House the repeal of the Affordable Care Act. Something that has not only been resoundingly embraced by many of our leaders, by the uninsured in our nation who are looking forward to the opportunity to be insured. But in the last election, I think it was very clear that in the affirmation of President Obama, 64 million plus people voted for him, and enormous unequal divide in the state supported him. And he made it clear that he wanted to ensure on behalf of the American people that there would be coverage of working families. Now, as he looks to implementation, we recognize that members of Congress will be engaged in making it work right. But we also realize that the Affordable Care Act will provide more resources for health professionals, will establish more federally qualified health clinics, which will create more jobs, will attack the dastardly number, my friend Garamendi, of 28.4%, 6% uninsured in the state of Texas. Of course, our governor sees fit to reject the expanded Medicaid, but I can't imagine why we have not embraced this agenda, which includes the idea of all of the above and creating clean energy and manufacturing jobs, bringing the solar energy back to the United States again, making solar panels. Certainly I'm aware of the fact that any country will grab what they can grab, but the United States has the capacity to do solar energy. It has the capacity to build wind turbines. All we have to do is invest. It has the opportunity, in actuality, to build submarines and to get back in the shipbuilding business. Of course, I'm sure there are members listening and saying, well, we've long left that business. No, I don't think so, because there's always a more technologically efficient, more effective, more swifter, if you will, ship or submarine. You can always make it bigger and better, smaller and better. With the technological revolution, we also have the opportunity to raise the specter of manufacturing. Of course, in the energy sector where I come from, there's a whole array of opportunities as we utilize clean natural gas. That is making the manufacturing opportunities grow grander and grander. And I truly believe that we'll find a common balance between natural gas producers and the manufacturers who need to use clean energy. Let me also say that the housing market is booming, and I am delighted to stand here and say that that is creating jobs, and many of these homes are being built on the basis of clean energy. And I don't know why H.R. 1524, of course, is a bill that speaks to this issue. I don't know why we are spending our time 3 days. I know that they'll be in the Rules Committee tomorrow, and I'll have a number of amendments that I hope to be introducing that speaks to issues that hopefully the utilization of the expanded Medicaid for states that have a 20% plus uninsured, the idea of ensuring that we include the right kind of Medicare reimbursement, but these are issues that can go in regular order. But yet we are spending the nation's time, dollars, and resources to be on the floor when we could be putting forward tax reform. Many of us want to work on tax incentives for small businesses, the backbone of the economic engine of this country. My friends, I call them all my friends. I want small businesses to be paying attention. You are our friends. You create jobs. You stay the course. Just today, I was listening to an individual in the ravaged area of the Hurricane Sandy. And she was saying that she has 6 restaurants. She was complaining that we had not done what we were supposed to do. Obviously, you remember they stalled the compensation for those souls in that eye of the storm, and we waited with our friends, the Republicans, wouldn't let the money out. And she is a victim of that. But she said, I have 6 restaurants, some of the ones I cook in. But just give her, in addition to the compensation from FEMA, which is overdue, give her a tax structure that can help her grow her business, pass legislation that gives incentives for hiring the unemployed. That's what should be on the floor of the House as we approach all of the excitement of graduation, when young people will be coming out of college doors looking for the opportunity that America's always promised, when they say we all are created equal. I'll be going to a number of graduations. I know you will. You'll be speaking at graduations. What will you be saying to them? That America's a land of opportunity. But yet, we pound day after day after day after day, month after month, year after year on a bill that has been passed, signed into law, and being implemented, where physicians and researchers are saying thank you for the Affordable Care Act, where there are items that we have to fix, but why won't we fix them together? And so I came to the floor to just say that I want to join the chorus of getting to work. I want to join the chorus of creating jobs. And in fact, I want to join the chorus of putting our heads together and creating a summer youth jobs program for the young people, high school students that are coming out of high school, not coming out, but in the middle of their high school years. We always used to be able to find work. And no one cannot tell me that when we did it in 2009, the first year of President Obama's administration, it was a grand and exciting, not experiment, but it was a grand and exciting response to all those young people who were in the colleges, in the high school preparing to go to college. Let me finish by saying this and just throw a little something on the table, just to say, if we want to work, let's move toward immigration reform that is another job creator, and one that answers the questions of America's businesses. Let's do that. If we want to work, of course, I know that I'll see a couple of my friends running out of the door, but we can find sensible gun regulation. But I'll just say this. If nothing else, can we get something that says store your guns? Over the last weeks, we've been seeing people leave guns around and do this. And so could you do that? Could you just have a simple, H.R. 65 says to hold people responsible for storing their guns? All I'm saying to my friend is I want to thank you for your leadership. It has been a persistent, pronounced leadership that I've been delighted to join you on. And I want to thank our leader, Nancy Pelosi, for her pointedness about can we get to work, and her rising leadership, if you will, in the backdrop of the tenure that she had as Speaker, to be able to get things done. And of course, all of the leadership, including the leading spokesperson for Make It in America, our friend Steny Hoyer, and I must call all of our leaders, Leader Clyburn, and Chairman Becerra, and our Vice Chair, and Mr. Crowley, along with chairs of our committees, ranking members. But our message has been, as I yield back to the gentleman, that we can do all of the fussing. We can fix the IRS. We can talk about issues that are occurring with leaks. That's our job. We understand that. But it is not our job to come back again, over and over again, and revive a bill that is the law of the land, not only by the vote of the United States Congress, but by the United States Supreme Court. What more do we need to answer that question? So I hope to partnership with the gentleman. We're writing legislation as well, dealing with, let me throw one other point in there. We joined in on some legislation about doing human exploration again. That creates jobs as well.
Sure.
It builds various, the Orion that is on the books right now, getting ready to be built. But there are so many things that we can do together, bipartisan. And I want to thank the gentleman for his leadership.